I am so proud of women, not just because Donald Trump won, but because I think this is the election, Jerry, where people said, that's it, no more. Are you going to tell me, whoever the you is it the media, is it Kamala Harris, the Democratic Party, is it the establishment, whoever the you is, you are not going to tell me anymore who I am, what I believe, and for whom I should vote based on my gender, my age, my religion, my sexual orientation.
Kellyanne Conway has been dropping bombs when it comes to the reasoning for why Kamala Harris lost this 2024 election. I mean, we all know she's Kamala Harris. Like, nobody had any faith in her to begin with. We all know Biden endorsed her solely for the fact that he was booted out and he wanted them to lose. And we all think he voted for Trump. And so Kellyanne Conway, again, gives an amazing explanation for why she lost and why the Dems suck, pretty much. And I am inclined to agree everything she says, because not only is it my bias, it is always based in fact. And she also, lets us know the statistics as well. But before we can get to that video, make sure that you are subscribed to RTN News, because it ensures to YouTube that you are enjoying our videos, so they will continually show up in your feed, and then they'll push it out to more people as well. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
There's been a lot of discussion about the bro vote, a lot of discussion about young voters. I'm curious why, as somebody who studied this question for a long time, why wasn't there this wave of women voters for Kamala Harris that a lot of people thought would emerge and basically save the day for her? Why didn't that wave not materialize?
Well, in some ways, the answer is two words: Kamala Harris. She did not run a good campaign. She's not a particularly informative or inspirational candidate. That is not an insult. I'm telling you the way that public received it. And if you don't believe me, go back and look at all the election results. They're, I think, tough to digest and not see that this was a sweeping rebuke of, I think, her as a candidate, but also the campaign she ran, which was seemed to be like a little bit of a mishmash of identity politics. Some of the Obama people there sprinkled in with all of the Biden folks, the 500 people who were already there when he was at the top of the ticket, maybe a couple of her folks. Why do I say this? I say this because I think that her campaign proved, Hillary Clinton's campaign sort of suggested it, but Kamala Harris's campaign proved to me that money is not all it's cracked up to be in politics. They spent $2 billion. They spent so much money on paid political advertising, on some things that just don't make any sense in terms of getting voters to come out and turn out for you.
Yeah, she spent $10 million on Beyonce, $5 million on Meg Thee Stallion, $3 million on Lizzo, $1.8 million on Eminem, and I think she's $2 million to Oprah. It's like, you spent that much money just on celebrities who have massive platforms that honestly probably make up, all those celebrities that are involved in endorsing her probably made up the population of our country, and yet it had no effect on the election results. Nobody cared. Taylor Swift, I don't know if she paid her or not, but she's a massive following. Like, I think she generates billions of streams on her music. I mean, that's worldwide, but still, it's like, people do not care. They do not want, they're just like, you're so out of touch with reality, or out of touch with what the American people are experiencing and going through, and they're like, bye. Okay, living in your gated community while you're advocating for our border to be infiltrated by illegal aliens that are bringing drugs, crime, and all this stuff. But yeah, hey, let them through, because you're in your gated community with your security guards, and you're not gonna have to worry about that at all. But we are having our apartments pillaged, and we're having, people dying, getting raped in the street, like Lake and Riley, like losing their lives because of your incompetence and out of touch with what we're going through. And so your endorsement meant nothing, especially knowing that you got to pay millions of dollars to do it.
As goes women. I am so proud of women, not just because Donald Trump won, but because I think this is the election, Jerry, where people said, that's it, no more. Are you going to tell me, whoever the you is it the media, is it Kamala Harris, the Democratic Party, is it the establishment, whoever the you is, you are not going to tell me anymore who I am, what I believe, and for whom I should vote based on my gender, my age, my religion, my sexual orientation, my socioeconomic status, my zip code, whether I'm married, whether I have children, whether I own a dog or a cat. Like, I'm going to make my own decisions. And when you look at this, what President Trump and his campaign did so brilliantly is, yes, they turned out the vote among people, some of his core supporters. I think when people said base, they're trying to insult him. He had a base plus from the beginning, or he wouldn't have been the nominee, let alone the president. They're turning up the voters among low and no propensity voters who otherwise would support him and came out for him. But then they're mitigating the natural deficits that any Republican presidential nominee would have. Jerry, a generic Democratic presidential nominee winning, as Kamala Harris did, women by 8 points is a shock. It is absolutely stunning. Hillary Clinton beat Donald Trump among women by 13 points, and we beat her for the presidency.
Yeah.
Joe Biden won by 13 points. President Obama beat Mitt Romney by 11 points among women, did even better in 2008 against McCain. So for the female candidate of color who's going to make history, come make history with me, while they're peddling abortion as the top issue, to only win by 8 points is a true devastation to a party. Why did women not come out? They did come out. We have been the majority of voters in presidential elections since 1964. We just had the 16th consecutive election where we decide who the president is. But we're not going to be narrowcasted.
That's actually insane. We need to pause. So Hillary Clinton won the woman vote by 13 points. Obama, 13 points, and better with versus McCain. Who else is it? She said Biden won by 13 points against Trump, like in the woman category. Kamala Harris, the woman of color, the strong black independent woman, won by 8. And obviously she got blown out of the water with the entirety of the election. That's crazy. Chew on that for a minute, because that's mind-blowing.
You're not going to talk to us from the waist down only and expect us to vote for you. We want to be talked to from the waist up also, where our brains, our eyes, our ears, our hearts, and my big mouth is. And this is important because we are not single issue thinkers. We are not single issue voters. We're not single task doers by day. And so abortion was important, but I think it was actually a bigger issue in the 2022 midterms than it ended up being in the 2024 presidential. And a lot of that was because people see everyday affordability as crushing them. They're upset about the border. They're upset about our money going to XYZ, ABC. And that, I think, was more important to them.
That is so true. Reducing women to the anatomy below the waist is so disrespectful. And to make that a single issue, if that's your single issue as a voter, which they are trying to force women to subscribe to, like, what is that doing for the country? And like she said, she made a good point. In 2022, that was a huge thing. That's why the red wave that we thought was going to happen, because our economy and everything was so bad, didn't happen because of the abortion issue. And, you know, it is what it is. It wasn't like we got completely blown out of the water, but it wasn't what we were expecting or anticipating. But when 2024 came around and it was like, okay, yeah, we get it. You know, abortion, it's back to the states, regardless of whether you like the decision or not. That's where it is. And nothing was going to change regardless. And so Kamala, knowing that being the case, still fighting for abortion and talking about all this federal abortion ban that no one ever said was going to happen, propagating Project 2025, regurgitating things that have already been debunked multiple times with the good people on both sides. You were just doing all the things that had already been done before, that either had been proven to not be true or just didn't matter anymore because you couldn't do anything one way or the other about it. And so when you continuously did do that, people are like, all right, you're just saying things now. You're literally just yapping for yap's sake. And people like want to see their lives be better because they currently are not. And if you're going to be the person who isn't currently in office, second in command, and saying you're going to do the opposite of everything that you guys had been doing for the last 4 years, but instead of actually focusing on the opposite of what you guys have been doing the last 4 years with bettering the economy, securing the border, all you're talking about is abortion and how, you know, he bat Trump, orange man bad. That's not helping us. That's not doing anything. You wouldn't go on interviews and actually communicate what you were actually going to do. You just literally spent your whole campaign talking about how bad Trump was. And, you know, we're not going back. Well, we did. And so, yeah, it's so true. It was disrespectful to women to try and make them solely focus on abortion. And I'm glad that they didn't. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment your thoughts below. I really want to know what you guys are thinking. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.